Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to Where the Road Rises. With me, your host, Eileen Curlin Walsh. What a treat we have for you today. We're going to talk about laughing. Laughter is a gift we are all born with, a great equalizer and a natural medicine. A big belly laugh lifts our spirits, brings us together, makes us feel happy and tingle with life. Laughter therapy is the use of humor to promote overall health and wellness. Studies shows that laughter can reduce pain, lower stress, and boost the immune system. Also, science has found that when we laugh, no other thought can come into our mind. Just a few minutes of laughter can make us feel better about ourselves and the world around us for hours. In the studio today to discuss the healing power of laughter is certified laughter leader Kathy O'Brien. While nursing at Weiler's Children's Hospital, Kathy saw firsthand the effect the caring clowns had on her patients. Even the expectation that something funny was coming would have them in peels and forgetting their illnesses. But she didn't want to be a clown. Then, at a mindful seminar, she discovered the World Laughter Tour and its certified leaders, and there she found her home. Kathy has been a laughologist for 10 years now, bringing therapeutic laughter exercises to schools, hospitals, nursing homes, corporations, big and small. And we are delighted to have her join us today. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you.
Kathy, what a great subject for us to be talking about. I am just delighted truly that you're here. Why don't you start by telling our viewers a little about you and your background, your story, and how you came to nursing in the first place?
Well, I worked in the pediatric hospital, and I just always loved children. My very first job was babysitting 5 little children when I was in high school. So from the very beginning, I always knew I wanted to work with children. So I worked at Weiler Children's Hospital, and I just loved it there. And we did have the caring clowns, and they were from New York, the Big Apple Clown College. And they would come around and just do their little clowning in front of the children. That was their actual job. Different clowns were on different units, helping the children and their parents laugh. They didn't tell any jokes either. They just did their little clowning routine. And I saw how wonderful it was. But I didn't want to be a clown.
Yes, yes.
I actually was doing a dressing change on one of my patients, and he was crying, and his mom was upset because I was making him cry. And I saw the caring clowns out in the hall, so I gave them a little nod, and they came in, and they asked the mom if they could play with him, and she said yes. So they started doing their little clowning routine, and he stopped crying. He started laughing, and his mom just felt so much better because her little boy wasn't crying anymore. So not only did it take his mind off it, when you laugh, especially that good hearty laugh, you can't think of anything else, and it improves the endorphins in your brain. So it's your body's very own natural painkiller.
I love it. I love it. So that's when the light bulb went off that you wanted to do something with laughter.
Correct.
And you didn't want to be a clown. So then tell us how you discovered becoming a laughter leader in the World Laughter Tour.
I was at a meditation seminar, and I met somebody there who was a certified laugh leader. And we got discussing it, and I thought this would be a great thing. She was doing a presentation the next day, so I went and saw her do her presentation, and I was like, this is it. The light bulb went off. This is what I would like to do. Beautiful. So I got the information from her about the World Laughter Tour, and I Googled it, and it was amazing. It really is worldwide laughter club. that I belong to.
Right, and you certified.
I'm
There was a
certified.
training program, and you certified to become a leader. And now, when we say world tour, is that a metaphor, or do you in fact have these leaders who go all over the world?
There are leaders who are around the world. We have leaders in Africa. We have leaders in Brazil, China, India, everywhere in America. So there were, the last time I looked, which was about 5 years ago, over 10,000 laugh leaders, certified laugh leaders around the world. And some of them do go from, we just had one she posted the other day on her Facebook page. She was over in India, and another one was over in Spain. Another one, they're just everywhere because laughter is the universal language. You don't have to learn another language because everybody laughs.
I love it. And when we were talking in the green room, I had mentioned to you, Kathy, that for years my sibling, and I'm one of 12 children, and when we get together, we have a list. We literally have put together a list because we realized how much we love to laugh. And we have those stories and jokes from our childhood, the funny things our children said. And we have something that we just have to get going with. So did we have our own laughter club without even realizing it?
You did. You did.
And you have laughter clubs as part of the World Laughter Tour.
Yes.
Right, right.
They're everywhere.
Why do we need to laugh?
Oh, well, let's think. Yesterday and the past few months, the political scene has been everywhere.
Adversarial, for
Right,
sure.
it is. It's been very adversarial, and it's been there for a while. So the importance of laughter is, if you laugh, then you don't think of all those downing things. Because when you are laughing, that's all you can do is laugh. That's all you can do is laugh. You can't think about anything else. So you can't think about the news or the weather or the traffic. You just are there laughing.
And that little physiological nugget has been amazing to me. I never realized, it's like you can sneeze with your eyes open. I never realized that you cannot think when you're laughing about anything other than what you're laughing about, which I'm sure is at the heart of so much of this laughter therapy for those who are sick, those with illness, those who are terminal. Not just us to get us through the difficult political season or the bad weather, but for people who are truly dealing with illnesses, this is a very, very real therapy, Kathy.
Very therapy. Yes.
Right, right. So how do you help people laugh? What are the techniques that you have been taught, that you have developed? What has your experience taught you about the techniques? How do you make this happen?
Well, for one thing, when you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror, is that person looking back at you smiling? Maybe not. So you can get that person to smile by just putting your fingers at the corner of your mouth and giving yourself a big... If you do that, especially a big smile, for 10 seconds, it changes your brain function. It says, I'm smiling. This is going to be a good day. So you start the day off smiling before you do anything else, before you think about what is going on with you or with your family, or you just smile. And it has to be a big smile, and it has to engage your whole face.
Right. So you sort of trick your brain into reading this signal. You're smiling, you must be happy about something, you can get the endorphins flowing.
Exactly.
You know, Kathy, it amazed me as I researched for our meeting today for the show that this is not just worldwide, as you mentioned, but there's a long history of laughter therapy, laughter yoga. Even the 13th century surgeons who didn't have anesthesia would use humor to distract their patients from their pain. So what is it physically about laughter that helps the body relieve pain, be distracted? What's going on physiologically?
When you laugh, especially a really good hearty laugh, it engages your whole body, and it changes the endorphins in your brain. It is the body's own morphine-like substance. Yes. People talk about a runner's high, excuse me, or people that dance and just get that high from dancing, because it just changes your mindset. And so it's very, very wonderful thing to do. And you don't need any talent to do it.
Now, were you always a big laugher, Kathy? Is that maybe why the laughter, is that why you were drawn to it, or was it truly your experience with the children? Because some people just always seem to be laughing. Have you noticed that?
Yes, I have.
Another thing I mentioned to you was my mother still, and she's almost 90, she always had this laugh where she just bounced up and down and silently. So she wasn't making noise. So she just had this motion, and the rest of us would all start laughing when Mommy started laughing. So does everyone have the capacity to laugh? Can you, with your therapy, get everyone going?
Actually, I cannot.
Okay.
I can get most people going, and even if people don't join in with the laughter, if they just sit there and hear it, it does affect them. When I do laughter sessions with Alzheimer's units, people will say to me, well, what does Dad get out of it? He doesn't laugh. And I said, well, you can see the light in Dad's eyes. So there's something there. Because we were born knowing how to laugh. When you have a little baby or you go see a little baby, what do? You go, ding, 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 and they start laughing, and then you laugh. So even though people are not laughing at that moment, they still get that feeling inside of them. And then when they go home, or maybe later on in the day, they'll think about some of the silly things and the fun things that we did, and they'll smile.
And to be around people laughing, it does. If you're in a comedy club, when we all laugh together, or even I've noticed when the whole family is watching a sitcom, everyone starts laughing with each other, whether or not they it almost seems like we take our cues from others. And even if it takes the cue of another and we get the physiological benefits, it's all good. Right. So it's physical, it's mental. Is it also emotional?
It is. It's very emotional. People sometimes will laugh so hard that then they start crying. And it's just a release of whatever is built up in them. It just makes us feel better. And some people that have been on antidepressants, if they laugh on a regular basis, at least 10 to 15 minutes every day, sometimes their medication can be decreased. So that's a positive thing.
Oh, absolutely. I always love Dolly Parton's line, laughter through tears is my favorite emotion. And then often it is sometimes, especially if it's a very highly emotional, maybe at a wedding, a funeral, we laugh and cry almost interchangeably. So maybe we're in the same area of the emotional mind. So let's talk about some of your therapies, Kathy. I'm looking at your World Laughter Tour, and you have Mondays for complaints, Tuesday for
compliments.
Oh, compliments. The opposite. Oh my. I thought maybe we were just going to get rid of those complaints, but Mondays for compliments, Tuesdays flexibility, Wednesday gratitude, and so on. Kindness, forgiveness. Oh, there's even chocolate in here. So tell us a little bit about this program and how our viewers could be part of it, and what it means and how it helps.
Well, it's called the World Laughter Tour because of the fact that we concentrate on the good-hearted living principles, which, like you said, Mondays were for compliments. If you get up in the morning and think about mindfulness, what you're going to do that day. Mondays are for compliments. It's not very hard to give somebody a compliment. I love your suit. It's very beautiful. I might have thought that and not said it. You might have been having a bad day. But if I say to you, I love your suit, it's beautiful, it makes you feel good.
Yes.
So that's what we do on Mondays. And Tuesdays are for flexibility. And lots of times when I'm doing a laughter presentation, I'll say, today should be Tuesday because you are flexible enough to invite me here and see what this is all about.
Yes. Go on. I love this.
Okay.
Wednesdays
are for gratitude. And not just grateful for the big things in life. You have to think sometimes about the small things in life, that you are grateful for your child who was just in a play.
Yes.
So that was something that you can always remember. And if you are having a bad day, you can remember that and be grateful for it. You can be grateful for the fact that the sun was shining today, or there was a beautiful flower that you saw.
So Kathy, as you speak, I'm thinking it's more than just a laughter club. It's really about personal growth, inspiration, motivation, utter well-being.
Yes.
Yes, I get it. Laughter for well-being, laughter as therapy. Yes, it's not just the session or the sensation, but it's how it starts affecting your whole life.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, beautiful. And then Thursdays are for kindness?
Kindness, yes. And I usually say this because when you think about how kind everyone was to one another after 9/11, it was a horrible, horrible thing, but everybody was so kind to everybody else afterwards. And now, where is it gone? Well, especially in this political season that we've had. Hopefully that's over and done with. But you can be kind and just open the door for somebody. They don't have to be older than you. They don't have to be infirm. You can just hold the door open. If you're in the checkout line and somebody behind you has 3 or 4 items and you have 8 or 10, you can let them get ahead of you. It's kindness. It's very simple.
And it is so two-way, because when you reach out, it's been said that there's no such thing as true altruism, because no matter what you give, you get something in return, even if it's that good feeling. So you're kind to someone, they are the recipient of the kindness, and it makes you feel good. It's such a win-win situation. And then Fridays and forgiveness, a deep subject that we touched on just in our last show also. Talk a little bit about that, Kathy.
You're not just forgiving people who have done things to you or that you think have done something to you. I thought this friend and I had an argument, and it took us a long time, and I said to her, well, why are you angry with me? And she said, I'm not angry with you. She wasn't at all. It was the way I had perceived it. So it took me a long time to forgive, but that was my problem, not hers. So you also have to learn to forgive yourself. You can say, oh, I'm going to start on that diet tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and you don't start on that diet or that exercise program or whatever it is. Don't be upset with yourself. Just forgive yourself, because tomorrow is another day.
Yeah, I love it. It's really, truly about improving our overall mental health. And then weekends are for chocolate. Who doesn't love chocolate?
Chocolate or anything else that makes you feel good and makes you feel wonderful.
And that's a little program that you advocate the people who come to your clubs and come to your events to follow themselves, so that they can in each day know what they need to do. Tell me more now. I'm very intrigued by the actual exercise where you can get people to laugh. So tell me a little bit about how, when you're in a group, for those who are willing and able, are these trade secrets?
No.
Or could you tell us a little about how do you get these big police chiefs and school teachers and harried moms, how do you get them to laugh when they're thinking about the grocery list and everything else it is that they might need to do that evening?
Well, the thing is, I don't get them to laugh. I invite them to laugh. One way to start out with is when you say hello to somebody, instead of just saying hello, you can say, hello! Hello!
And they're off.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. And then we talked about the contagion.
Yes.
So once a couple
Laughter's
people
very
start laughing,
contagious.
and then the more everyone laughs, and they feel a little silly, and then they just keep on laughing, and before you know it, you have the room in stitches. Tell us about your humor deficiency syndrome, Kathy.
Well, humor deficiency syndrome is when you don't have enough humor in your life. You get up in the morning and you look outside and you're like, it's raining, it's going to be a terrible day. You can look outside. This is what I do lately, and it's just been lately, and I just love it. I get up and I don't turn on the news, because that's a bad way to start your day. I open up the drapes and I sit there and I go, it's a lovely day today, and whatever I have to do, it's a lovely day. And it really does change your mindset. I was doing that with my granddaughter the other day, and we had a wonderful day. Even though it was rainy and cold and miserable, it was still a wonderful day.
Yeah.
You have to put your mindset there. Yes. And the humor deficiency is, people actually feel better after you leave the room? Do you bring people down so much?
Oh my, yes, yes. We do have to not take ourselves so seriously. Isn't that part of the problem? We take our time, our lives, our chores, our busy work so seriously. Whereas if we kind of rose up and looked at our little drop in this ocean of life and our short time here, perhaps we wouldn't find ourselves so caught up in the chores of day-to-day living that we forget to live and laugh, Kathy.
Well, the thing is that that's easier said than done. So that's why you have to put more positive things into your brain every day, no matter what you do. If you see a little child laughing in the street playing with a ball or something, or if you see somebody smiling, or you have to remember these wonderful moments, because you have to build up the library of laughter, because the more fun things and wonderful things you have in your brain, it gets rid of all those negative things. So what I do when I go and do it at a corporation is I will tell the people, or I suggest to the people, that in your break room, instead of having the newspaper and the magazine, that you can bring in funny stories. I cut out articles in the paper with people smiling on them. I'll cut out jokes and put them on a piece of paper, tape them down and whatever, and just have them sitting around in the break room. So when people go in there for their cup of coffee or their lunch, they're not, oh goodness, look at what happened yesterday in the world of anything, in the world of politics, in the world of sports, in the world in general. So instead of having that all the time, you have to have fun things in.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. And I love that you say that we need to have a little library. So that's what my sisters and I, we had started literally making a list, because of something every time, one word. We didn't even have to get the whole way to the story, but the first line had everybody bent over. We knew that there was value in that. So I would encourage everyone, when you have a few things that make you laugh every time you hear them, start putting your little library of laugh together. Right. That's why we need that, and why we need laughter therapists, to remind us of how important that is. So Kathy, if any of our viewers would love to know more, would love to find out how to invite you to an event, maybe their parents' nursing home, their corporation, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
The best way is my email, which is laughwithkathy, with a K, at yahoo.com.
Beautiful. And I have a couple little offers for you viewers. So Kathy is coming to my office on December 19th at 12 noon, 2018, and she's going to be presenting her therapy, her music, her art, her techniques. We're going to have a little Christmas party, so we'll have goodies, we'll have gifts, and we'll have treats and drink, and you are invited. Now, our conference room holds 30 people, so it's not too soon to call my office and reserve your seat for that event. Also, it's time for Katie's gift. As our regular viewers know, this time every year, we collect toys for a local charity. Katie, at age 4, was in the hospital and discovered that the little girl in her room had no toys while she was surrounded by them after brain surgery on Christmas morning. So she shared her toys, and every year she has just grown this initiative, fire departments. She has her little engine has become a huge train. So every year we collect those gifts. And if you bring a toy, we need most toys for young children and teenagers. Teenagers love an Amazon gift card. So if you just bring a little toy, $20 gift card to our office, we offer you a free healthcare power, HIPAA release, and a living will. So I'm thinking today that we can combine these offers, come to our office December 19th, have Kathy's laughter session, bring a little toy, and you also get some free legal services, and you get to spread the good cheer that we are bringing to you. So I think that sounds like a great deal. I hope to see you there. Just give us a call. Thank you, viewers, as always, for watching, and I will see you next time on Where the Road Rises.